They laughed when they took away her rifle. Women can't handle real combat, the sergeant said. But when 4 enemy snipers started attacking, Maya grabbed an old backup weapon. In 58 seconds she dropped all 4 targets with perfect shots. The men stopped laughing. Before watching full story, comment below from where you watching. Also like and subscribe for more stories. The morning sun was just breaking through the clouds at Fort Mackenzie training compound when Sergeant Maya Chen walked across the field, carrying her rifle case. She was a small woman, but her eyes were sharp and focused. She had been training as a sniper for months, and her shooting scores were better than anyone else in the unit. Sergeant Rodriguez, a big man with thick arms, walked up to her with 2 other soldiers. "Chen, we need to talk," he called out. Maya stopped and put down her case, looking at the 3 men who surrounded her. "What's the problem, Sergeant?" Maya asked, keeping her voice steady. Rodriguez crossed his arms. "The problem is you thinking you belong in sniper training. This isn't some game. This is real military work." Corporal Jenkins, a tall thin man, stepped forward with a nasty smile. "We have real soldiers who can handle the pressure. You should go work in medical support or maybe communications. Leave the fighting to the men." Maya felt anger rising in her chest, but she kept her voice calm. "I've passed every test you've given me. My accuracy scores are higher than anyone in this unit." Rodriguez laughed. "Shooting paper targets is easy. But when real bullets start flying and people are trying to kill you, women panic. It's just how women are made." Lieutenant Walker walked up to the group. He was an officer with a clean uniform and cold eyes. He looked at Maya like she was something that didn't belong there. "Chen," Walker said, "today we're doing a live exercise. 4 NATO snipers from other units will be positioned around the training area. They're some of the best shooters in the military. Your job would be to spot them and take them out before they eliminate our targets." Maya nodded. "Yes, sir. I'm ready." Walker smiled, but it wasn't a friendly smile. "Actually, no. Rodriguez is right. This is too dangerous for you. We can't risk having someone freeze up when lives are on the line." He pointed to her rifle case. "Hand over your weapon. You can watch from the command post and learn how real snipers work." "Sir, I've trained for this exact scenario," Maya protested. "I know I can do this job." "That's an order, Sergeant," Walker said sharply. "Give Rodriguez your rifle. You'll observe only." Maya's hands shook slightly as she opened her case and handed over her custom sniper rifle. It was a beautiful weapon that she had worked with for 2 years, learning every detail of how it fired. Rodriguez took it with rough hands. "Don't worry, Chin," Jenkins said with a laugh. "You can watch how it's really done. Maybe you'll learn something." Walker turned to address the other soldiers. "All right, men. 4 enemy snipers are already in position somewhere in the 2-mile training area. They have orders to eliminate 5 mock targets we've set up. Your job is to find them first and neutralize them. This is as close to real combat as we can make it." Maya followed the group to the command post, a small building with windows overlooking the training field. Her heart was pounding with frustration. She knew she could do this job better than any of them, but now she had to watch from the sidelines. The training area was huge, 2 miles of forest, hills, and open ground. Somewhere out there, 4 expert NATO snipers were hidden, waiting. Maya studied the terrain through binoculars, automatically noting wind direction, shadows, and potential hiding spots. Rodriguez and 3 other soldiers spread out into the field, carrying their rifles. Maya watched them through the window, noting how they moved. They were good soldiers, but they were making mistakes. Rodriguez was moving too fast, not taking time to properly scan for threats. Jenkins was staying too long in exposed positions. "There," Maya said quietly, pointing to a hill about 800 meters away. "There's a sniper in those rocks on the right side." Walker looked through his own binoculars. "I don't see anything." "Look at the shadow pattern. One shadow is slightly different. And there's a small reflection when the sun hits it just right." Walker stared for a long moment. "Maybe. But it doesn't matter. You're not out there." Suddenly, a red flare shot up from the training area, the signal that one of the NATO snipers had successfully eliminated a target. Then another flare. The exercise was not going well. Rodriguez's voice came through the radio, angry and frustrated. "We can't find them. These guys are too good. They're picking off our targets one by one." Maya studied the field more carefully. She could see the slight signs that others missed, a branch that moved wrong, a color that didn't quite match, tiny glints of metal. Years of training had taught her to see what others couldn't. "Sir," she said to Walker, "I can see where 3 of them are positioned. If you let me." "Absolutely not," Walker cut her off. You stay right here. But then everything changed. A real alarm started blaring, not the training exercise alarm, but the base emergency signal. Walker grabbed his radio. Command, this is Walker. What's the situation? The radio crackled. Unknown hostile forces have breached the perimeter. This is not a drill. All personnel are to engage and neutralize threats immediately. Maya's blood went cold. The exercise, NATO snipers might not be friendly forces at all. Someone had used the training exercise as cover for a real attack. Walker's face went white. All units, this is now a live combat situation. Engage any sniper positions immediately. But his soldiers in the field were confused and scattered. Rodriguez's voice came through the radio, panicked. Sir, we can't tell which snipers are ours and which are hostile. We need backup. Maya looked at Walker. Sir, let me help. I know where they are. You don't have a weapon. Walker shouted. Maya was already moving. In the corner of the command post was an old backup rifle, an older model that hadn't been used in months. She grabbed it and checked the action. It wasn't her custom rifle, but it would have to do. Chin, stand down. Walker ordered. But Maya was already out the door. Maya ran toward the training area, her mind racing. She had studied this terrain for months. She knew every hill, every tree, every rock formation. And she had spotted the sniper positions that the others had missed. The first sniper was on the hill she had pointed out earlier, about 800 meters northeast of her position. Maya found cover behind a fallen log and studied the area through the rifle's scope. The scope on this old rifle wasn't as good as her custom weapon, but her eyes were sharp. There a tiny movement in the rocks. The sniper was adjusting his position to get a better shot at something. Maya calculated quickly in her head. 800 meters, wind coming from the west at about 10 miles per hour, target partially concealed behind rocks. She took a deep breath, held it, and squeezed the trigger. The rifle kicked against her shoulder. Through the scope she saw the sniper jerk and then go still. One down. Maya moved quickly to a new position. The second sniper would have heard the shot and would be looking for her now. She had to move fast. The second sniper was hidden in a cluster of trees about 600 meters to the east. This was a harder shot because of the branches, but Maya had seen the tiny glint of his scope lens. She found a shooting position on a small ridge and studied the target area. The wind had changed slightly, now coming from the southwest at maybe 8 miles per hour. Maya adjusted her aim point and fired. The bullet cut through the branches exactly where she had aimed. Another sniper eliminated. 2 down, 2 to go. And she had been shooting for less than 30 seconds. Maya's radio crackled. It was Rodriguez, his voice desperate. Unknown sniper is taking out our guys. Jenkins is down. We need immediate support. Maya keyed her radio. Rodriguez, where's your position? Chin? What are you doing out here? Walker said. Just tell me where you are. I'm pinned down near the water tower, about 400 meters south of the command post. Maya could see the water tower. She also could see where the third sniper had to be. There was only one position with a clear shot at Rodriguez's location. A small building about 500 meters away, with a window facing the water tower. Maya sprinted to get a better angle. Her lungs were burning and sweat was running down her face, but her hands were steady. This shot would be tricky because she had to fire through a window, and she couldn't be sure of the exact position of the target. She found a shooting position and looked through the scope. There, a shadow that was slightly different from the others. The sniper was there, probably lining up a shot at Rodriguez. Maya didn't have time to calculate wind and distance perfectly. She had to trust her instincts and experience. She aimed slightly high and to the left to account for the wind and fired. The window of the distant building shattered. The shadow disappeared. 3 down. But where was the fourth sniper? Maya's heart was pounding as she scanned the area. Rodriguez was still pinned down, which meant there was still a threat out there. Then she saw it, muzzle flash from a position she hadn't expected. The fourth sniper was much closer than the others, hidden in a drainage ditch only 300 meters away. He had been waiting for the other snipers to reveal the enemy positions before taking his shots. Maya spun around, but the sniper had already seen her. She could see him swinging his rifle toward her position. She had maybe 2 seconds before he fired. Maya threw herself to the ground and rolled behind a small rock. The sniper's bullet hit the ground where she had been standing, sending dirt flying. She came up in a shooting position, her rifle already aimed. The fourth sniper was trying to relocate, moving along the drainage ditch. But Maya could track his movement by the way the grass moved. She led the target, calculating where he would be in the next second. Maya fired her final shot. The movement in the grass stopped. 4 snipers eliminated in under 1 minute. Maya keyed her radio, breathing hard. Command, this is Chin. 4 hostile snipers neutralized. Area is secure. Walker's voice came back, stunned. Chin, how did you? Report to command post immediately. Maya walked back across the training field, carrying the old rifle. She felt tired but satisfied. She had proven what she knew all along, that she belonged here. When she reached the command post, Walker, Rodriguez, and several other soldiers were waiting for her. Their faces showed a mixture of shock, respect, and embarrassment. Rodriguez stepped forward, holding her custom rifle. Chin, I owe you an apology. We all do. He held out her weapon. This belongs with someone who knows how to use it. Maya took her rifle back, checking it over carefully. Thank you, Sergeant. Walker was studying reports from the field. 4 confirmed neutralizations. All shots were perfect, clean kills at ranges from 300 to 800 meters, using an unfamiliar weapon with an uncalibrated scope. He looked up at Maya. How did you do it? Maya smiled slightly. You took away my rifle, sir. But you couldn't take away my training, my knowledge, or my eyes. A real sniper doesn't depend on just one weapon. We adapt to whatever tools we have available. Jenkins, who had been wounded but not seriously hurt, spoke up. I saw that last shot. You fired while moving and still hit a target at 300 meters. I've never seen anything like it. Wind was 8 miles per hour from the southwest, Maya explained. The target was moving at roughly 3 feet per second along a predictable path. I led the target by 2.5 feet and aimed slightly high to compensate for the bullet drop at that range. It was a difficult shot, but not impossible if you understand the physics. Rodriguez shook his head in amazement. We thought women couldn't handle this kind of pressure. Maya looked at each of them. You thought wrong. Precision shooting isn't about how much you can bench press or how loud you can yell. It's about focus, calculation, patience, and steady hands. Those things have nothing to do with being male or female. Walker nodded slowly. You're right, Sergeant Chin. And I apologize for my assumptions. He paused. How would you like to lead the advanced sniper training program? Maya smiled for the first time that day. I'd be honored, sir. Later that evening, Maya was cleaning her rifle in the armory when Rodriguez approached her. Chin, he said quietly, I need to ask you something. How did you spot those snipers when the rest of us couldn't see them? Maya looked up from her weapon. Experience and observation. I spent years learning to read terrain, shadows, wind patterns, and tiny details that most people miss. When you took away my rifle, you thought you were taking away my ability to fight. But the rifle is just a tool. The real weapon is up here. She tapped her temple. A true marksman doesn't depend on having the perfect equipment or ideal conditions. We learn to work with whatever we have, an old rifle, bad weather, moving targets, time pressure. When you remove the tools from a real expert, you don't make them helpless. You force them to prove their mastery using whatever resources remain available. Rodriguez nodded thoughtfully. I understand now. We were judging you based on stereotypes instead of your actual abilities. The best snipers in history have come from all backgrounds, Maya continued. Some were men, some were women. Some were big, some were small. What they all had in common was dedication to their craft, endless practice, and the ability to stay calm under pressure. Physical strength matters less than mental discipline. She finished cleaning her rifle and locked it in her case. Tomorrow, when we start advanced training, I'll teach you what I know. But first, you all need to forget your assumptions about what a sniper looks like. Focus on what a sniper does. 6 months later, Maya's advanced sniper training program had become the most successful in the military. Her students, both male and female, were achieving accuracy scores that broke previous records. The incident at Fort McKenzie became a case study taught at military academies. It showed how prejudice and assumptions could blind people to real talent, and how true expertise could overcome any obstacle. Maya kept the old rifle that she had used that day. She mounted it on the wall of her office with a small plaque that read, "The weapon is not the rifle. The weapon is the mind that guides it." And whenever new students joined her program, especially those who came with doubts about whether they belonged there, Maya would tell them the story of the day they took away her rifle, and how she proved that a true expert needs nothing more than opportunity and determination to show what they can do. The 4 shots that eliminated 4 NATO snipers in under a minute became legendary. But for Maya, they represented something more important. Proof that skill, knowledge, and dedication matter more than prejudice and assumptions. In the end, taking away her rifle hadn't weakened her, it had forced her to demonstrate the full extent of her capabilities. And that lesson changed not just her career, but the entire approach to sniper training in the military. Sometimes, the best way to prove you belong somewhere is to show what you can accomplish even when others try to hold you back. Maya Chin had done exactly that, one perfect shot at a time.